and you're building it to express yourself. And guess what? Since we all are different, we all have different tastes, and we all have different opinions on what a car should be, well, good luck selling your modified car to just about anybody, because it's not going to be their cup of tea in most cases. And you're going to look like a spotted dick, selling your modified car and expecting to get a lot of money for it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people in America that actually think this way.
As it was when I bought it. So I'll put a quick picture up on the screen of what mine used to look like when I first ever bought it. And as you can see in the picture as well, it's got an L plate on it still, which is when I was still a little learner driver. So obviously since then, a lot has changed.
Now, here's the thing. The L plate kind of took me back a little bit, because I'm wondering who in their right mind would force their citizenry to put an L plate on their car to designate them as a learner driver. Only Boris Johnson and a bunch of MPs in Parliament would actually make that happen. That right there is absolutely ridiculous. Now, the Japanese, they have a way better way of doing this. They have a little badge or insignia or symbol, whatever you may want to call it, and they allow you to hang it from the rearview mirror. Now, the funny part is that JDM kids over here, they actually hang the learner's symbol from the rearview mirror here in America as a badge of honor, whereas people in Japan don't want to even be seen with that in their car. But for the UK to legislate that their citizens put a massive L on their hood is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the amount of spotted dicks that are in Parliament are unbelievable. And I can tell you right now, guys, I'm so happy that a Scorpion's on the hood and that L plate is off the hood, because Thatblueabarth has no business having an L plate on his car. I'm pretty sure the man can drive.
So I'll quickly go through what the regular 145s can have. Now, it can have a lot that this car can have, or has already. It can have those wheels in that exact colour, it can have the stripe, it can have the bonnet scorpion in some cases, and it can have the paint. But obviously it's kind of just based on what the owner specs it with, or what they've chosen, or what it's being sold with. Now, what I would recommend is going for the lighter colours such as yellow, green, and white. And also podium blue. Podium blue is an amazing colour, I absolutely love it. And I'm not just saying that because I have it, I always liked it since the start and even before I had mine. So why do I recommend these colours? Well, I think they're the absolute best colours for these cars. They just look fantastic, especially with little red accents or black ones or grey wheels, stuff like that. It just pops with the car so nicely. Now, I would recommend probably going for yellow, red, or podium blue, because they do polish up the nicest. I have seen a red competizione with like so much like polish on it, and it looked fantastic, really shimmered and shined in the light. So I would recommend either one of those colors. Now, moving on from the paint, you do get the wheel.
Now, here's the thing about color when it comes down to the Fiat 500 and the Abarth. Now, even in the United States, when the Fiat 500 came out, it had anywhere from 15 to 25 colors, which is absolutely astonishing. And the specifications for the interior were just as enormous. And that's probably one of the reasons why Fiat didn't last here in America. It really wasn't meant to last because of Fiat's turtlenecked overlord, Sergio Marchionne. Now, Sergio Marchionne was a shrewd businessman, and he took over for Luca Montemazzellimo, who was actually Ferrari's CEO after Enzo Ferrari died in 1989. Now, obviously, Luca Montemazzellimo did a great job with Ferrari. They won several championships, and as Ferrari was on the decline, Sergio Marchionne took over and decided that since there was a collapse in the economy in 2008, this was the best time to bring the Italian automotive manufacturers to America once again. 30 years later. Now, Sergio Marchionne was very smart because he brought Fiat in as a people's car, a car that was relatively inexpensive, one that could be obtained and had the Italian flair that a lot of fashionistas and LGBTQ pride people would love to drive, which that's kind of the reason why the Miata has the stigma it has as well, because of the kind of normies that actually drive these cars, when the actual enthusiasts know what these cars are really all about. And that's why it's so hard to find a Miata. But besides that point, at the end of the day, Fiat was introduced into America for one reason, to bring back Alfa Romeo. And that was Sergio Marchionne's baby. I mean, Alfa Romeo was a company that is slightly under Ferrari but above Maserati, and was decked right where it needed to be when you consider that it was going up against BMW, Mercedes, and Audi, the big three from Germany, as a Italian alternative, which looked sexier, was more organic, offered pretty much the same performance if not more, and was just not with any stigma attached to it like the German cars have. I mean, you see an Audi or a BMW driver or even a Mercedes driver, and you already know the kind of person that's behind the wheel of that car. But you see somebody in Alfa Romeo, well, it could be anybody. And that's kind of the nice thing about the Abarth and about the Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio and a lot of Italian cars.